So you don't beg for grace when you have made a mistake. It's obvious that you've sinned. You shouldn't be calling for grace. Grace cannot help you at that time. It is mercy that allows a holy God to relate with people that are as sinful as me and you. It is mercy that allows God in his holiness to relate with us.
This is Sandra's reality. Faith and love in harmony.
Hey fam, welcome back again to another beautiful video. I am Sandra, just in case you're coming across my face for the first time. So today I want us to talk about something we all do but might be doing it wrongly when it comes to praying for mercy and praying for grace. Most of us use these words interchangeably, right? We say, I'm praying for mercy. God, I need your grace. But sometimes we use them wrongly. And the truth is that they are not the same thing actually. So today I've come to tell you the difference between mercy and grace, and when to pray for mercy and when to ask for grace. You know, we often say, God have mercy. And then sometimes you see yourself saying, God, give me grace, so, right? But have you ever wondered to know what each and every one of them mean? Yes. Sometimes you will be asking for mercy when what you need is grace. And sometimes you'll be asking for grace when what you need is just mercy of God. If you read Hebrews 4:16, it says, let us come boldly before the throne of grace and obtain mercy. I need you to pay attention. Let us come boldly before the throne of grace and obtain mercy. So did you catch that? Mercy and grace in this particular Bible verse are listed separately. And that is because they serve different purposes. They don't do the same thing. So now let's talk about what mercy is. What do you understand by the word mercy? To me, mercy is just divine compassion. And it is the foundation of God's relationship with man. It is mercy that allows a holy God to relate with people that are as sinful as me and you. It is mercy that allows God in his holiness to relate with us. Lamentations 3:22 says, it is because of God's mercy that you and I are not consumed. So, this is deep, deeper than you think. Mercy and grace are not the same. There are situations you find yourself and you're calling for mercy when what you need is grace. And you find yourself in some other situations and you're calling for grace when what you need is simply the mercy of God. So, know it today that mercy is God saying no to the punishment you and I deserve. It's just God saying no to certain punishment that you and I deserve. And I want you to know that mercy is stronger than judgment. Just visualize a court concluding that somebody will be killed by hanging, right? And then someone walks in to say, this person is not going to die. Who do you think would have such a power to walk into a court where a verdict has just been passed to say it is not going to stand and nobody questions it? That is mercy. That is mercy. So mercy is stronger than judgment. And that is why in the book of James 2, either 14 or 13, I don't know. The Bible tells us that mercy triumphs over judgment. Mercy triumphs over judgment. So now we know what mercy is. Let us know what grace is before we go into how to know each one we need at a particular point in time. If I ask you now, what do you understand by the word grace? Spiritually, what do you understand by grace? Now, to me, grace is very different. Grace is empowerment. Yes, grace is empowerment. And grace is divine, very, very divine, because imagine something you don't merit coming to you. That is grace. It helps you go where you couldn't go. You know, takes you to where you're not supposed to be. Do what you couldn't do. And be who you are not meant to be. That is grace. Grace is just the reason why you succeed where you failed before. That is grace. It is not by power nor by might. I don't know why. I wish I can have a lot of time in the whole world to explain this particular part, right? Grace is very divine. Imagine something you don't merit. I know I'm not qualified for this. I am not qualified, but by grace, God makes it available to you. You occupy a position you know you're not qualified for that position, but by grace, through grace, God puts you there and you occupy that position. That is grace. It's very unique. It's very different. You see yourself doing what you couldn't do, going where you couldn't go before, succeeding where you failed before. A lot of things that comes with grace. So, now, let's talk about how mercy and grace work together. The truth is that mercy holds judgment. Okay, if you find mercy and grace at work in a situation, like the example I gave before, it is mercy that will first of all hold the judgment, and then grace will rewrite the story. Yes, mercy will stop judgment, and then grace will rewrite the judgment. That is how mercy and judgment works together. This is just special to me in particular because I know that these are the two things that work in my life: mercy and the grace of God. Mercy and grace. Okay, for example, mercy stops punishment and grace just rewrites the whole thing and give you unearned favor, something you don't merit, a favor you don't merit. So they work together. They work together. Mercy stops punishment, and then grace just enables favor. Yes, enables transformation, enables victory, and so many other things. Okay, let's talk about why you need mercy and grace prayers. They are very important, you know. If you look around you, you just say, all I see is the grace of God. Really? You're sure you all you see is the grace of God? Do you pray for more grace? And then you find yourself in a situation and all of a sudden you are out of it. You say, hey, now God do this one. Oh, this one is just the mercy of God. You know that it was the mercy of God. Or do you occasionally stock up mercy in your prayer bank? May God give us the grace to do things right, including me, you and I, because that's how they fall out, they fall in on daily basis. So when you're facing challenges, don't just cry, God have mercy on me. Oh. When all you need is the grace of God to overcome that challenges. That's why I say sometimes you'll be in a situation where you need mercy and you're praying for grace. You'll be in a situation where you need grace of God and you're calling for mercy. God answers your prayer according to what you ask, right? And that is why each time I see myself confused and I finish praying, do you know what the last thing I usually say? I'll say, God, give me what I need and not what I want. You know why? Because sometimes what you want is not what you need at that time. Just like what I'm saying, mercy and grace are two different things. Sometimes you see yourself calling for mercy when what you need is grace. And when grace gets there, it is not a situation it can handle. It will step back and you remain there. That's the picture I want you to get. But when you call for mercy and mercy is what you need, it comes there and you see testimony. That's why when people reach me with, issues, okay, this is what I'm going through, I'll ask you questions. How has your life been? How have you been living? Have you been living in line with God, what God said? Let me know if I'm praying for you, let me know what to pray. For example, when you are a nurse, let me use this as an example. You are a nurse. You give people pills to abort pregnancies, and then you get married, you cannot conceive, and all of a sudden you're meeting me to pray for you or to pray along with you. I will ask you questions. So that you know where to plant seeds. You understand? So you don't beg for grace when you have made a mistake. It's obvious that you've sinned. You shouldn't be calling for grace. Grace cannot help you at that time. Even St. Paul in the Bible, when God forbid that we remain in sin and expect grace to be sufficient for us. Grace cannot be sufficient for you when you are living in sin. So you see yourself that you've made a mistake. All you need to do at that time is to cry out for mercy. You need mercy to cover up and not grace. For example, if you're going for an exam, you need grace of God to excel in that exam. And then afterwards, you need mercy to cover up all the errors that you made during the exam. That is praying aright, praying intelligently. Showing God that, see, I know what I'm praying about, God. I know what I'm asking for. That's one thing I love about the book of Psalms. David and other writers of Psalms, it's not only David that wrote Psalms. David was always specific with his request. Specific. If he's thanking God, he's specific about why he's thanking God. If he's asking for mercy, he's specific about why he's asking for mercy. If he's condemning himself and asking for mercy, he's specific about why he's condemning himself. That's why I love Psalms so much. So, I want you to stop praying anyhow. This is me concluding this video, and I want you to stop praying for mercy when all you need is grace. And vice versa. Don't pray for grace when what you need is mercy. Pray aright. Learn to pray the right prayer at the right time. Pray wisely. Pray accurately. Pray intelligently. And you see yourself, stop praying amiss. You don't just start praying. No. You pray and you know what you're praying for. So, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share this video if you haven't at this point, and please subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys once again in another beautiful video. Bye.